might be looking for y'all, because the way I got the camera tilted, I don't know if that's like gonna interact with what y'all are seeing. But I don't do this often, so I'm just coming in here, you know what I'm saying, while I got some time on my hands to come in here and talk about this, which to me is very important, you know what I'm saying? And I believe it'll be very important to the future, especially understanding, much love to my brother Seven Bomar, much love to my brother Dan Winter. We give thanks. It's like, this is inspired by Dan Winter, actually, because when you get into the electromagnetism and centripetal and centrifugal, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear a lot of folks kind of touch into it, but they don't get deep into it. And I'm never going to sit up here and tell y'all that, I know everything about it, and you should only look at me for it and all that. Nah, man, that's why I share a lot of different things. And I always say, hey, educate yourself, do your own research. I'm constantly learning new things all the time. Every single day is a learning experience, right? So we all know that. It's like, those are just core truths that, But when it comes to this centripetal and centrifugal force, like I was telling you guys before, it's very important to understand this also inside of you, that, hey, the centripetal is what you're pulling in, what you're taking in. You see what I'm saying? Being conscious, because you're pulling it in, but what are you pulling in? You know what I'm saying? And then it's also, you gotta also learn the centrifugal to push out, because there's certain things that you're gonna have to push out. It's like Seven Bomar was saying, I learned that when I was like, dang. And I heard him say that, I was like, wow, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And all that is tied into your mind. So that's why this stuff is so important. It may seem like, the machine and blah, 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 and all that stuff. I'm always rambling about. But it's when you understand the principle of these things, guys, that it's very important, right? So centripetal force, right? That's basically the implosion, like we were saying, pulling centrifugal that's going out. But understanding that all that is happening in this one wave shape, though, right? In this one wave form. See what I'm saying? This is made of one piece of metal, y'all, and it does all this neat, magnificent stuff. See what I'm saying? And this is the realm, this is the reality, the ebb and the flow, the in and out. You see what I'm saying? Boom, like your heartbeat. Boom, boom. Y'all remember when Sanchez was talking about that? Every time the energy comes out of the spiral at the top of your head and come back in through the bottom, and he was talking about how it hits with your heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. So it's that's some real stuff, man. And like I was saying, understanding the mind, how the mind ties into this, is like, hold on, what does that have to do with your mind? Okay, well, getting into the physics of it, understanding the longitudinal electromagnetic wave is very important to understanding the nature of your mind. You see what I'm saying? And so how you can pick up things just like you yell, right? Because you got to understand the wave. That's what we talked about before. The longitudinal wave is also a sound wave, right? So you yell, hey, and you can hear it. You see what I'm saying? It goes through things, okay? So that's what we're talking about. So think about that. In your mind, you get thoughts and different things. Everything is interconnected, i.e. this. In physics, like Dan Winter says, everything is made of this. The universe is made of donuts, torus. This is what it's made of. This is when you talk about, the atom, but you can't see that. You can't see that right there. The atom and a particle and all that. Like he said, man, what they call a particle is just the fact that when the wave travels, it's traveling in what you call a photon. It's just a little mini donut. It's a torus. And you always see at the center is at the center of it, that's where the black hole is. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, y'all ever seen that movie, The Never Ending Story? I know it might seem like I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. Remember, because we're talking about the longitudinal wave, and I was just saying this just to say that you remember on The Never Ending Story where she talked about, because remember we're talking about the black hole, the center of the electromagnetic torus, right? She said in the beginning it was always dark, and then in that darkness, that one little grain of light what gave birth to you see what I'm saying, the wavelength, the spectrum. You see what I'm saying? But understanding that it always was, that you don't have that light without the dark, that it's one and the same, it's made of the same way, say whether it's collapsed or it's, you see what I'm saying, expanded, whether it's compressed, you see what I'm saying, or it's rarefacting. And so that's why it's very important to understand, like, okay, cool, so that's the nature of your mind and how that kind of works, right? And then you understand, like, oh, just like how those waves go through things, like, the longitudinal electromagnetic wave is also the nature of the soul. You see what I'm saying? The same way that soul, they're like, oh, well, we scan the body and we don't see it. Like, come on, man, we know that, that's the longitudinal EMF. Just like that Tesla coil I got out there somewhere, right? And when you plug that in, I showed y'all that or whatever, in the little arc, you see what I'm saying? And then you hold up the light bulb and it's lighting it up, but you're not even like, how's that working? That's the longitudinal. You see what I'm saying? It goes through. So that's why I said there's different so-called forms of the same thing in that way. Like water is also ice, but it's also gas. You see what I'm saying? Like it's coming off of you sweating. You see what I'm saying? It's evaporating back into. You see what I'm saying? So like everything is everything in that sense, and that's why Seven Bomar. That's why he was saying, yo, the hydrogen. You see what I'm saying? Because everything is based off of that element. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really what it comes down to is, that hydrogen. All this stuff is all tied in. Dan Winter tied that in. How the hydrogen, like he proved the radii of it was fractal or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like he proved all that by equation. And, they're not recognizing him at all for any of that, and they still over here talking about bogus crap. They're like, yo, like clearly we know, like, hey, like there's more to what's going on. Like even the fact, like when Dan Winter's talking about, like, oh yeah, well, thinking that light speed is just a speed limit, like, yeah, that's dumb. Like he was saying, like, yeah, like superluminal speeds, there's speeds beyond that have been measured, but they ain't talking about that kind of stuff. So you kind of got to ask yourself, this machine right here, see what I'm saying? That my machine, like, my phone's sitting on top of it. So, like, above it or whatever. So, I can't show you, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And so, that right here, it makes sense why when I go to the electrical store down there, they don't sell most of the stuff that's in this right here. But they have $1 million contracts, right? I mean, you think that these electrical supply stores that supply the electrical grid here, you think that they're not involved in $1 million contracts? You're crazy. You see what I'm saying? So clearly, you see what I'm saying? There's no capping here. Like, no faking, no capping. They know that they got most folks so dumbed down and so just far away from the truth that stuff like this go over their head, and they can just kind of try and write me off as being crazy and blah. But like I said, though, you can't do that, though. You can't do that no more. But see, we got it right here, the 0 point energy. We already got it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, we know that technology exists. We know. I'm not the only one. Much love to my sister, man. Thank you so much, y'all. I don't want to say your name wrong, but she had dropped a comment and left a whole list. You can just see all the different type of 0 point energy. So don't even think that I'm trying to sit up here and say, oh yeah, this is the only one I'm gonna live. Nah, man, that's baloney. Pick one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need folks being able to get in this stuff. Like, yo, it's room in this. And I'm telling you, in the future, this kind of stuff is gonna be, the thing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm saying. Like, yo, much love to Dan Winter, man. Like, yo, because I know, man, he'll probably, never even see this. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you never know, though. He might, though, So, just sending love, brother. Sending love to that brother, Seven Bomar, man. Like, yo, I really enjoy listening to y'all's message. You motivate me, you know what I'm saying, to keep going and to be better. Yo, Bomar, I still got my cosmic clock, bro, rocking this joint. Like, yo, loving it, you know what I'm saying? Holding to my brother Kurt, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, much love to Kurt, man. Like, yo, I got to link up with that brother again. Like, yeah, like, it's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things coming in this future. Understand that it's coming. It's already here. But it will flourish into that much more. It will be magnified in that sense, in that way, because it's like, I'm seeing now, like, dang, okay. Like, boom, picture, we got picture, you know what I'm saying? If you had some people pitching on this, like, yo, we talking like, yo, like celebrity type status. Not saying that's what I'm looking for, but I'm just saying that, come on, man, like, the possibility is endless, y'all. Like, yo, that's all I'm saying. And, you know, like I said, I ain't saying this is the only one. You don't trust me, man, go pick another one. Like, yo, matter of fact, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to find that comment and then I'm going to post that in the community. You know what I'm saying? Just because, man, like, yeah, like, you know, like I said, you know, trust me, because I'm not telling you to come follow me and that, oh, I'm the one to show you the way into all that. I ain't saying all that. You know, I'm just, for the record, I'm not saying that. Like, but I am here and I am open and I am willing to teach anyone who wants to know. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know the truth, then rock with me, man. Like, yo, like, you want to know how, hey, maybe potentially, you know what I'm saying, we can get our sovereignty, because that's what this is all about at the end of the day, y'all. You know, much love to my brother, Sid the Duke of Tears, too. I'm like, yo, because I be up on his stuff, and I'm like, yo, like, trying to understand how the whole nationality thing and stuff works. I ain't gonna act like I got that. So, like, you know, so I'm working with it. We'll just put it like that. And so that's the thing, y'all. That it's so much potential in this where we could go with this. Y'all, like, man, I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely gorgeous. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to divide from nobody. I'm not trying to bring no hate. I'm not trying to slander nobody. Hey, man, it's all wholeness. You know what I'm saying? I'm just about unifying and advancing and leveling up our state of consciousness as humanity. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, coming from the so-called bottom to the top. Because like I told you, when I started this, I ain't got one over here. But when I started this, I started with some little disc magnets, y'all. Little disc magnets. It was the wrong one. It's not the kind that I'm using. I can't really say it's the wrong one, but just, you know, it's not the kind I'm using now. And then some copper wire that would totally, like, yeah, just, it wasn't even the right stuff. But that intent, you see what I'm saying? Look at what it manifests. 0 point energy. It's a real thing. Let me check it right now. I mean, it's just sitting. It's just sitting. And over here, right? Let's see. I ain't gonna lie on it. Yeah, and over here, I'm still seeing an increase. So yeah, and next to nothing. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, okay. Like I said, like, yo, like, this thing can be scaled up. Like, you be like, oh, well, what is it showing? Blah, blah, blah. Well, like I said, this thing can be scaled up. That's where the power is at. You gotta remember that. You know, are you gonna make $1 million off of $10? Like, it don't even make sense. See what I'm saying? Like, I mean, nothing works like that, homie. Like, yo, the more you put in, the more you gonna get out. But, you know, your boy, I'm gonna keep on rolling. I'm gonna keep coming forward, y'all, because I'm telling you, regardless, right? Regardless of all that, or whatever, at the end of the day, I know that, again, my intent is gonna magnetize to me what I need, just like it has been. Much love to my brother, I am 67. Like, yo, like him, for instance. Like, yo, like, just look at that. He's the reason I got to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, because he look out for you boys. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like, he show love and he believes in not only himself, but he also believes in me. Another reflection of himself. Like, yo, we give thanks. I'm like, yo, like, man, that's love, man. I'm like, yo, that's what it is, supreme. I'm like, you know, that for real. I'm like, yo, and I always give thanks. You know what I'm saying? To the great I am, to the supreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, real rap. I'm like, yo, that's just what it is. I'm like, yo, the almighty of all that is. Like, the source. I'm like, yo, like, rap, real rap. I'm like, yo, right into every time I look up in here, I see mine. I look up and I see my dad, me, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, source, bro, from where I come from in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, in this part of, remember, guys, remember, this is where you at. Remember that. It's where you at. So that's what I'm saying. Remember, it's not about like, oh, like, this is like some spinning ball. That's it with the man. That's baloney, bro. Do not believe that. That is baloney, bro. Like, nah, like, this is a electromagnetic structure. Like, yo, like, consciousness. Like, this isn't a place. It's like something Beaumont was telling y'all years ago. This is not a place. This is somewhere that your consciousness exists. You see what I'm saying? Because you project it in here. And that really is what this is. And that's what I was telling y'all. When you look at this and you start seeing all the different colors of the rainbow inside that and all the different angles, see what I'm saying? It's like I was telling y'all, you just walked into a house of mirrors, what would you see? You would see yourself in all these different angles. But guess what? because they're reflections, at the very best, they're kind of distorted, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like, and so remembering who and what we are. You see what I'm saying? Like, because that's all you're doing is you're remembering. Like, I'm not necessarily teaching you anything. Like, you're remembering. Like, this will come to you because it's on a DNA level. I seen it today. I seen it earlier today. You know what I'm saying? On a journey today. I seen it today. The whole DNA, the whole spiral. I can see the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Wrapped up in coil. Boom, boom, boom. I can see the entire thing. I can see just everything. The family, the thoughts, the food, everything just wrapped into this coil. Boom, 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 boom. And then you know exactly where it was spun directly up the spine, and it was coiled. It was wound all. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, the energy at the top. But you know something though? It's grounded. It's regulated. It's not bubbling or burning down chaos. Nah. And that's what they don't. That's what they fear. That balance. See, they ain't worried about you niggas who always. Oh, they know, nah, they got you because you always just squirting out all that energy everywhere. They draining you. But it's the one who can contain his energy because they know that, yeah, instead of spilling that energy out, I've been cultivating it and containing it. Like, yo, And when we hit singularity, like Seven Beaumont was saying, yo, when it hits, like, yo, like, you're going to see. Like, yo, like, you will feel. And you just trust me. You know what I'm saying? If you tapped in like that, you ain't got to question it. You going to know because you will feel. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to go looking for, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, you are. You are a reflection of the divine, almighty, supreme creator that created all that is. The source of all that is. Like, yo, it's where you descend from, the source of all that is. I'm like, but see, here, everything is reflected, it's refracted. Like, yo, you have to remember. See what I'm saying? Like Seven Beaumont was saying, think about it. If someone was dismembered, my arm is all dismembered, right? But to remember means to put it all back together. Can you recall? That's why in the ancient language, the word for death was equated to forgetfulness. I forgot my drink. See what I'm saying? Like, yo, see right there. See right there. See that part. See, you have to be quicker than thought. Like when I'm telling you, like when I was seeing and I was perceiving, how I can pull that back. You see what I'm saying? Or pull it forward. Depends on how you're really looking at it. And that's what I'm saying. Again, that's that centripetal force. Being able to maintain that coherence while on the astral. You see what I'm saying? I can contain that coherently. You see what I'm saying? I'm consciously just observing. You see what I'm saying? I'm watching the DNA. I'm watching the whole entire light code. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point where like, whoa, hold on. I'm like, and it's like, yo, like, hold on, wait. Like, hey, you can actually like influence this. Like if you can get in this space, you can influence this and you can start rewriting things. That's what Seven Beaumont was saying when he said, yo, that the third eye allows you to rewrite DNA and code. Man, that brother way ahead of his time, bro. That's going over most folks' head. They looking, oh man, it's turn all. He crazy, man. He don't know what he's talking about. He loves man, what? Yes, the third eye can rewrite the DNA, can rewrite the codes, and I seen that, and all I'm gonna say is that that's a very real thing that I don't have to try and convince you of that. When you see and you feel and you're in the know about that, then you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like you don't have to question that kind of stuff. Like, you just gonna know. It's a feeling. That's why they say the gnosis, the knowing. That's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Like, oh shoot, looks like I got two people. And I don't know how to look at the dome. Shit, I guess I don't do this enough. No. Alright guys, I'm just trying to what? I was just trying to find see where the chat was at or whatever. Like, yo, but I don't know. I don't see it on here, so I'm not gonna worry about it then. But yeah, man, yo, if y'all like this, hit the thumbs up or whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, because I tell you like this, when we learn to go within, right, and we can learn to change inside, then the so-called outside bends. Again, that's centripetal force. See what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the pulling in. That's the magnet. That magnet, right? I take that magnet outside. You know how you can always check what I'm saying and know I ain't lying? Go get a magnet, y'all. Go buy one. You don't got, man, you got a magnet somewhere around your house, even a refrigerator magnet. Go get it and run it across the ground. I ain't saying drag it, but run it just above the ground, like in some sand somewhere. You're going to pick up little tiny pieces of iron. I've done it. Just trust me. So what I'm saying is that you pull in things that's for better or for worse. You can go pulling in little tiny little things like that. See, that's accumulations. That's habits. Oh, now I'm starting to smoke. $2, $3. Now I'm starting to drink. $5 here. See, that's them little pieces that the magnet's picking up. You understand what I'm saying? And so the adept can go in consciously, because that's what the yoga talks about. Like, you know, like that's what the yoga talks about too. The yoga is just about getting control of consciousness, being able to see the patterns and be like, well, we alter this, and damn, that's kind of really strange. Like, we need to work on that and kind of move this around. You see what I'm saying? On yourself. Then you start to see like, dang, and then you start to really see, you know, like I don't even want to get into some of the, you know, occult stuff or whatever, you know, because I know people already sounds like some old wild. Like, nah, I kind of want to keep it on the scientific shit. But, you know, I delve into that too, though. Y'all know what that is. You know, that's how my channel, you know, man, that's why people wrestle me, they're cold. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's full spectrum. Like, you know, as a matter of fact, with that being said, I'll get into it a little bit, right? So when you begin to master your inner world like that, and you can kind of control it, you see what I'm saying? You'll start to see things around you bending. It's just like, because that centripetal force, the dominant field, is going to win. And so that's also a gauge to let you know that, dang, well, I got some work to do. Like, I know clearly in my world, my life, obviously, I'm sure all of us can say, hey, yeah, we got some work to do. I know I do. Like, I ain't gonna sit up here and cat like I got it all. Like, nope. We're working on building it up, man. Like, yo, that's all it is. It's like, yo, like, building it up one step at a time. And I'll tell you this too, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not always trying to be on here all rah. Like I said, like I'm going to be running after and following it, like I got it going on and all that. But I will say that for anybody who is ever trying to look and find the truth, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, you can come here, because again, the yoga, that's where I was going a minute ago, right? With the yoga, like, yo, that's sanitizing and getting to the mind and start to level and ground that out. And that's really what I need to go do, because after being on a journey today, and I went and got grounded a little bit outside, but I can tell that I still need to go get grounded, because the energy just been so high today. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, yo, like looking into the sea, you know what I'm saying, of the DNA, the light wave, full blown chakra wide open, seeing the ethereal rippling wave, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like straight blasting off, like a full activation. Oh, yeah, definitely need to get grounded though. So yeah, I'm just like, man, like that's one thing. Like I said, like, I'm gonna always stay on this. Like, yo, like Sanchez was saying the other day, that Kundalini, that energy, like, nah, I'm feeling it too, bro, and I'm right there with you, bro. And like I said, it spirals up, you know what I'm saying, and it just climbs slowly, you know, slowly, and just makes it sense. The more we just breathe. Take those conscious breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Centripetal, right? So the centripetal coming in, that's centripetal convergent, right? And then it's centrifugal divergent, because when the centrifugal, the energy's going out, is divergent, right? So centrifugal divergent, centripetal convergent, meaning the energy's converting, or it's converting, right? It's boom, right? Now we see right here. See what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, man, like the more and more that I feel this, not just see, guys, that you can read about stuff like this all day, You know, you can listen to other people talk about it all day, or you can get out here and just start to do this stuff for yourself and actually like live it. You know, and that's why I'm not on here all the time, because I'm actually living this. Like, I'm actually out here, you know, trying to really get folks to challenge their mind and their way of being. And I ain't always been the best at doing that. And I give thanks to brother Son Bomar, because he really helped me, you know, like get better at that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I never even met him in person before, but it's just like, man, like, as powerful as this message has been to my life, yo, forever grateful. I'm like, yo, for real, man. I like Bro Sanchez too, man. I'm like Bro Sanchez, man. Like, man, so many different people, like I said, throughout the years that I've learned from. You know, that's one thing about me. Like, I don't limit myself. You know, that's why I'm up here doing this right now. I don't limit myself. When people say, oh, well, you can't, you know what I'm saying? And make sure children ain't watching, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too on there, like, hey, they ain't doing this and all that. But serious though, it's like, man, it's like, all right, like, it's times where you just gotta be real with yourself, man, and like, yo, like, I mean, it should be all the time, right? I mean, it should be a constant thing, but a lot of times it seems like in this world that you be urged to go the other way. Or like, nah, this kind of nah. Yeah, all I'm saying is because I don't want to create any conflict, no conflict. See what I'm saying? We balance it out. See what I'm saying? I yin, I yang. I know how it goes. And this is a whole thing about, you know, getting into this kind of stuff. This is why, like Seven said, if you go ask the monk on top of the mountain meditating, you go ask him some deep question, he's not going to say anything. And the reason he's not going to say anything is because he knows that the minute he sends out that wave, that it's going to be one coming back. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, collapse this. Like, yo, I'm in 0 point. Like, this machine, I'm in 0 point, son. Right. So it's just going, right? Like, yo, Anakin implode energy from the environment. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, a little bit of vacuum coherence going on, right? So, but you do the same thing, though. It's like, damn, what I'm saying? Like, see, again, coming back around to what I was saying, centripetal, centrifugal, the nature of mind, longitudinal EMF, right? That you do it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, your mind, when you pulling in things and then you giving out, and that's why it's so important. Like, sometimes it's just like, man, if you don't got anything constructive for the person that's really gonna push them forward, man, you just better off just not saying anything, man. It's nothing. Like, a lot of times, man, I'm just silent, man. And it's not because I'm trying to be awkward or weird or rude. It's just like, man, like, I sit with myself every single day, and I meditate, and I go deep within myself. I see it all, full spectrum. That's why I said I'm not saying I'm the good one or the bad one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who will tell you their own opinion about that. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm whole and complete. So I know that, hey, I'm my good and my bad. You know what I'm saying? I know that I got the 0 and the 1. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, I know that it's electric and it's magnetic. See what I'm saying? I know that it's made of one wave shape. You see what I'm saying? One wave form. That's the sine wave. You see what I'm saying? And once you understand that, that ether, that luminiferous ether, as it was called, because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like that ether they try and deny and say it ain't real, but they'll throw its symbolism in your face all day just to show you that, we took the knowledge and lied to you. You believe it. And you think I'm not going to say something? Y'all think I'm not going to open up my mouth and say something? You think I'm going to just let you get away with billions of souls? You think I'm going to just let you get away with that and just not say anything? Nah. You can't ignore it forever, because it's going to come a point in time where y'all have to get control of this beast, which is self. You know what I'm saying? Get control of this. As it said, the chariot, it explained like the body, like the chariot. You see what I'm saying? You sitting on the throne, right, or supposed to be, and then you got your horses, but the eyes over here, and then the nose over here, and this over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You for one, like Seth Bomar said, you got to know these senses, or you got to know them horses, and then you got to know how to direct them. Hey, don't put him with that, because that ain't going to work well. It's going to go wrong every time. He's got to get mixed in with this to kind of balance it out. So you got to know that kind of stuff. And when you don't know it, don't just think, oh, it's just going to be straight. We're just going to be good. It's going to be all right. Man, nah, it's going to be all right when we make it all right, man. It's going to be all right when, like I said, I'm not saying this machine can run and save my whole house if something happened. Like, oh, I'm just going to not pay for electricity anymore. I'm not saying any of that, guys. I'm just saying that, hey, look, there are other ways that, hey, and as shaky as this system is, I don't think we want to be fully dependent on it for every little thing that we got going on, i.e. your lights, your power, you see what I'm saying, your food, your grocery store. That's what I'm saying. Like, learning, I was just out there in the garden today, pulling the weed, boom, 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 getting stuff, seeing some blooms. I'm like, yeah, we get thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, Terry, we get thanks. I'm like, yo, I appreciate that. I'm like, yo, for real. I'm like, because, yeah, I'm like, that's what, in my humble opinion, needs to be done. And in fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and, I'm so tired of just not saying shit. Man, nah, fuck that. This really what we need to be doing is to, if you want to thrive, because let me not say what you need to do, because you don't need to do anything. You do whatever you please to do. But I'll say it like this. We can get to thrive at our best, right? We can get to feel our best. And you wake up and say, I feel like crap. Then, man, maybe you should try getting on some of these natural herbs, growing your own stuff, cleaning out your body. Man, I always got my little herbs that I'm taking to constantly detox. I'm always on the yoga, man. Like, yo, I never fell off on that stuff, man. Like, yo, like, I never fell off on it. I'm still on my yoga tip. I'm like, yo, like, we still on. I'm like, yo, one lady pulled up one day and just, I could tell that, like, somebody was kind of just sitting there or whatever. And I looked up and she's like, yo, you okay? And it was the way I was laying and I had my leg up. And I was like, yeah, she thought I was, like, broke up, you know, like, nah, I ain't broke up, you know? Just stretching, you know what I'm saying? It's just the yoga. It's like, yo, it's the flexibility of the body. I told her I'm good. I'm like, yo, that was love, though, that she was looking out there. And so that's what I'm saying, just in case, what if I was out in the yard hurt? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I thought that was really sweet, actually. But, you know, and that's what I say, man, like, you know, at the end of the day with all this stuff, oh, well, what's the importance? Oh, getting in your mind and blah, blah, and oh, what are you doing? Yo, you are consciously walking forward towards being a better version of yourself. Every day is a new day. This energy flows in and out, in and out, in and out. See what I'm saying? That sun and moon, boom, rotating over and around you every single day, right? And that's what I'm saying, that all that we see outside is also happening within. And that's why I say, if you want to be able to, what they call so-called magic and all this stuff, man, magic, like I was saying years ago, y'all, that's just the awareness of how the construct really works and how this really, you know, how this really is to be traversed in that sense, right? So what I'm saying is, right, is magic is nothing but understanding how the construct really works and how, so if I do this, this happens. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, it's kind of like a science and it's kind of like a knowing. And see, once you cut folks out of knowing certain things, they don't know nothing about their body. They don't know where their kidney at. They don't know where their liver at. I can tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? I can point to it right now. I tell you, the liver's right here. You see what I'm saying? The kidneys is back here. The adrenal gland sits on top of them. Holding this to my brother, Dr. Yaki. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, real rap. I'm like, so, you know, he's on that. But, yeah, we had 2 people drop off. So, man, I don't know. But, you know, like I said, though, man, you know, I done been on here long enough running my mouth, and I got stuff to do, y'all. So, spread light body over and out, man. Much love, y'all.